in order to know the structure of the atom, or in order to know what are the particles present inside the atom, if particles are there, how they move, in order to know all of these, several scientists put forwarded several theories. Among them, some of the theories developed or models developed, we are going to discuss. Okay, first here, model of the atom or structure of the atom. Model of the atom or structure of atom, or structure of atom. In order to explain the structure of the atom, first J.J. Thomson introduced the Thomson model. I think in chemistry, in atomic structure, you have studied all this. Thomson model. According to this Thomson model, J.J. Thomson said that the entire atom is covered with the positive charge, and the electrons are distributed uniformly and located at different points inside the atom, just like how in watermelon, how red pulp is distributed uniformly, the positive charge is also distributed uniformly entire the volume of the atom. And the how seeds are there inside the watermelon, the electrons are also distributed uniformly, just like seeds in the watermelon. That is the so Thomson said that the atom is in watermelon shape. It is watermelon model. Okay, but by means of this Thomson model, of course, he explained the different concepts related to atom, but could not explain why the atom radiates the energy having different frequencies. Because as you know, whenever the electron transition takes place from higher energy level to lower energy level, energy is radiated. No, here when energy is radiated, that radiant energy consists of different finite frequencies. How the radiation is having different frequencies, they could not explain. That Thomson model could not explain for this. That's why it is failed to explain that this concept. Why the radiation, when the transition takes place from higher level to lower energy level, why the radiation consists of different possible frequencies, that could not be explained by the J.J. Thomson model. This is the failure of the Thomson model. Okay, but here, according to Thomson model, atom is having watermelon structure. Watermelon structure. Here in the watermelon, red pulp similar to what?
Positive charge.
Positive charge. Because how red pulp is distributed uniformly inside the watermelon, the positive charge also distributed inside the atom uniformly. So red pulp related to positive charge, and seeds in the watermelon.
Negative charge.
Negative charge means negative charge or electrons. Negative charge or electrons. So how the seeds are located in the watermelon at different positions, the electrons are also present inside the atom at different places, and of course distributed uniformly. Okay, this is about Thomson model, but failed to explain this model. This model failed to explain.
Radiation emitted.
Failed to explain frequency of the different frequencies of the radiations. Different frequencies of radiation emitted due to transition of electrons from higher to lower energy level. Due to transition of electrons from higher to lower level. Higher to lower levels. Actually, whenever transition takes place from higher level to lower level, for example, some fourth level to first level you take, the electron may not be transited from higher fourth level to first level directly. They may transfer from fourth to third to second to first, like that. Then whenever transition takes place from fourth to third, it emits the radiation having some frequency. Third to second, it is having some more frequency. Similarly, from second to first, it is emitted the radiation having some finite frequency. That in this way, they have different, the radiated energy is having different frequencies, but it could not explain by this Thomson model. That is the failure of the Thomson model. Next, one more important model is Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. Have you noted this one? You note this one? Next, I will explain the Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. No doubt.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Have you noted? Okay, right. Now, second one, Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. Second one, Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. Alpha scattering experiment. To know the structure of the atom, what are the subatomic particles inside the atom, how they behave. In order to know all these, Rutherford performed one more experiment, that is the alpha scattering experiment. In his Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment, he has taken a thin gold foil. Through which the charged particles can transmit. So here he has taken thin gold foil. This is the gold foil. Foil itself represents thin sheet. So gold foil it is. Of course, it consists of number of gold nuclei. Suppose one of the gold nuclei is say this one. One of the gold nucleus is this one, having atomic number say Z. Then charge of the nucleus is equal to Z. You know, of course, initially he doesn't know this. Rutherford did not know is the nucleus is here or not. What is the type of charge present in the gold nucleus? That doesn't know. He didn't know that Rutherford that does not know what is the type of the charge present here. Okay, but here he has taken the gold foil like this. Here alpha particles are the parallel beam of alpha particles are parallel beam of particles having positive charges. Here in this Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, they have taken alpha particles only. So alpha particles are made to project on this thin gold foil or metal foil normal to its surface. Suppose here this is one gold foil. In this way, number of gold foils are projected like this. Number of alpha particles are projected like this. All these alpha particles initially, whenever there is no influence of this nuclei in the gold foil on the alpha particles here, all these alpha particles initially projected, all are parallel to each other, moving with velocity v and kinetic energy say capital E, kinetic energy capital E, where E is the kinetic energy of the alpha particle. Kinetic energy of alpha particle. Okay, V, speed of alpha particle. Kinetic energy of alpha particle, it is the initial kinetic energy. Next, initial speed of the alpha particle, V. Initially means when there is no influence of this the positive charge in the gold foil on these alpha particles, their initial kinetic energy is this one, and initial speed of alpha particle is this V. So with this, so here with this velocity speed or with this energy, alpha particles are projected onto the gold foil. Okay, due to that, if no charge is there inside the gold foil, if the different atoms present inside the gold foil are having no charge, then all alpha particles travel along the straight line path only like this. But Rutherford observed that here one spectrometer is also kept. Of course, here one fluorescent screen is kept. Here one fluorescent screen is kept behind the gold foil. Fluorescent screen. This is the fluorescent screen. Fluorescent screen. Fluorescent screen. That means fluorescent screen means it is a screen coated with zinc sulfide, barium platinum cyanide, etc. Okay, whenever the charged particles instant on the surface of the screen here, then at the point where the charged particle strikes the screen, at that point we can observe the scintillations. Scintillations means bright spot we can observe. Such type of screen is kept behind the gold foil at a distance r. At a distance r. Okay. Now, when here Rutherford observed that whenever these alpha particles are projected with velocity speed v and kinetic energy e, then these alpha particles travel like this, and whenever these alpha particles comes close nearer to this particle here, they observe that these particles deviated like this. Similarly, these particles also deviated like this. Similarly, these particles are deviated like this. These particles deviated like this. Some part here, this particle which is projected directly towards the this particle, this atom inside the gold foil. This particle, after reaching somewhat nearer distance, they move back like this. They move back like this. That means here, from the initial direction of motion, these alpha particles will be deviated. These alpha particles will be deviated. This alpha particle also deviated like this. Actually, if no influence of this atom on this alpha particle is there, definitely this alpha particle would be continued to travel along the same straight line path. But because of the atom of the gold foil here, these alpha particles deviated like this and they travel in this direction. Okay, so here whenever the alpha particle reaches the point here, through what angle it is deviated. So at this point, to draw a tangent, then the angle made by this tangent with the initial direction of motion of the alpha particle, this angle or this angle, both are same. This is called the angle of scattering. So in the diagram, theta is the angle of scattering. Angle of scattering. Theta is the angle of scattering. Okay, suppose n0 is the number of alpha particles instant on this gold foil. Number of alpha particles instant on gold foil. Instant on gold foil. Okay. Suppose if n0 number of alpha particles instant on the gold foil, then the number of alpha particles which are scattered. Of course, different particles scattered in different directions. Suppose this particle scattered in this direction, so that angle of scattering for this is different from this one. Similarly, different particles are scattered with different angles of scattering. Okay, so some particles out of n0 number of particles instant on the gold foil, n theta particles, n theta alpha particles scattered with angle of scattering theta. అంటే ఇక్కడ n theta అనేది theta angle తో scatter అయిన number of alpha particles అండి. So n theta is the number of alpha particles. Number of alpha particles scattered. Scattered means deviated. Scattered with angle of scattering theta. Angle of scattering theta. Okay. Suppose the thickness of the gold foil is say T. Thickness of gold foil. Thickness of gold foil. Okay. Next, small n. Small n is the concentration of the atoms inside the gold foil, or number of atoms in the metal foil or gold foil. Number of atoms present per unit volume. That is represented with small n. Number of atoms per unit volume. Number of atoms per unit volume of gold foil. Gold foil or metal foil. If you use any other metal foil in general. Gold foil or metal foil. Or metal foil, gold foil. Of course, theta angle of scattering we know. Small r. Small r means perpendicular distance of the screen from the metal foil. Perpendicular distance of screen from metal foil. Perpendicular distance of the screen from the metal foil. Z, atomic number of this gold foil or metal foil. Atomic number of metal foil used or metal sheet. So then it was here, we are not having any derivations for this. So out of n naught number of alpha particles incident on the metal foil, the number of alpha particles scattered or deviated with scattering angle theta or n theta. Then n theta, this n theta value is equal to, this n theta value is equal to n naught small nt. We are having direct formula z square e to the power of 4 whole by 8 pi epsilon naught whole square r square e square sin to the power of sin to the power of 4 theta by 2, sin to the power of 4 theta by 2. This is the number of alpha particles scattered with an angle, with the scattering angle theta out of n naught number of particles incident on the metal foil. అంటే మెటల్ ఫాయిల్ మీద n naught నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పార్టికల్స్ ఇన్స్టెంట్ అయితే దాంట్లో థీటా యాంగిల్ తో స్కాటర్ అయిన పార్టికల్స్ ఇటువైపు కానీ అన్ని డైరెక్షన్స్ లో థీటా యాంగిల్ తో స్కాటర్ అయిన పార్టికల్స్ యొక్క నెంబర్ n theta అయితే దట్ n theta is equal to this one. Based on the conservation of energy, conservation of linear momentum principles, they derived the formula for n theta like this. Okay, we are having only formula. So now from this, what is the relation between n theta, number of particles scattered with angle of
sin
scattering
power
theta and
4
theta?
పక్కన ఏంటి సార్ అది
ఏంటమ్మా?
ఫార్ములాలో sin power 4 theta by 2 నా సార్ అది
theta by 2, sin to the power of 4 theta by 2, sin to the power of 4 theta by 2, sin to the power of 4 theta by 2. Okay, sin to the power of 4 theta by 2. Okay, from this, number of alpha particles scattered with angle of scattering theta is directly inversely proportional to sin to the power of 4 theta by 2, sin to the power of 4 theta by 2, and also inversely proportional to square of the kinetic energy, and also inversely proportional to fourth power of speed of the particle, because kinetic energy is equal to half m v square, no, where m is the mass of the alpha particle, v is the velocity of the alpha particle, then kinetic energy is proportional to v square, no. That's why here instead of e, if you write v square, then v square whole square means v to the power of 4. That's why number of alpha particles scattered with the angle of scattering theta is inversely proportional to fourth power of the speed of the alpha particle, fourth power of speed of the alpha particle. Okay, and also proportional to the square of the atomic number of the metal foil. N theta is proportional to z square, no. So this relation is also important. Once in mains, based on this formula, they have given one problem. Okay, here when the number of alpha particles scattered at an angle theta 1 is n1, then number of alpha particles scattered at an angle theta 2 is what? Remaining all parameters are same. That is the question they asked. So this relation we have to use. n1 by n2 is equal to sin theta 2 by 2 by sin theta 1 by 2 whole to the power of 4. That is the relation. So by using that formula, we can do the problem. Okay, note down. This is one formula for number of alpha particles scattered. This is A. Note down. ఇది అరేంజ్ చేయొచ్చా?
So 1 minute.
Okay. For this alpha particle, what is the angle of scattering? This particle which is projected directly towards the nucleus of the this metal foil. From this experiment, from the based on the angle of scattering and scattering of the alpha particles, the Rutherford said that every atom consists of a positive charge. All that positive charge concentrated in a small region called nucleus, and electrons revolves around the nucleus in various orbits. He concluded that every atom consists of a positive charge which is concentrated in a small region called nucleus. The most of the mass of the atom is present within the nucleus only, and the remaining space of the atom is almost all empty. In the remaining space only electrons makes revolutions. That's why their mass is negligible. That's why most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in a small region of the atom called nucleus, and positive charge present only in this small region called nucleus. Okay, based on this, he derived the formula for number of alpha particles scattered with scattering angle theta. Okay, now shall I erase this one? Akshay Ram, meet say Nana. Akshay Ram, meet say. Okay, shall I erase this part? Erase checha.
Sir, last formula.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, note change. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, second point in this same Rutherford alpha scattering only, impact parameter closest approach. So B, closest approach. Closest approach or impact parameter. Suppose when alpha particle is made to the alpha particle which can travel directly towards the nucleus of the gold foil. Here you see, when alpha, this is alpha particle. Alpha particle means helium nucleus, no, or alpha particle. Alpha particle or helium nucleus. When it is projected with certain kinetic energy or with certain speed v towards the gold nucleus. Suppose here gold nucleus is there having atom charge Ze. Whenever this alpha particle directly projected towards the gold nucleus, then because of repulsion between alpha particle means helium nucleus, it is having positive charge, 2 units positive charge. It is the nucleus of the gold foil, so it is also positive charge. Because of these two positive charges, as the repulsion is there, as long as the alpha particle coming close to the nucleus, because of repulsion, the kinetic energy of the alpha particle gradually decreases, and after reaches certain position, it rebounds back, it repels back. Okay, here in this case, whenever the alpha particle reaches the point here and whenever it is turned back, at that time the distance between these two is minimum, which is called the shortest distance R0. Whenever the alpha particle comes close to the nucleus of the gold foil or metal foil, and whenever it returns back, then what is the angle of scattering for this particle, for this alpha particle? What is the
0.
angle of scattering for this alpha particle?
180.
Tell me. ఎంత
0, sir.
80 degrees.
ఇటువైపు ట్రావెల్ చేసిన ఆల్ఫా పార్టికల్ ఇటువైపుకి టర్న్ అయ్యి ఇటువైపుకి వచ్చింది. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద యాంగిల్ ఆఫ్ స్కాటరింగ్? వాట్ ఇస్ ద యాంగిల్ త్రూ విచ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ డివియేటెడ్?
180 degrees.
180 degree, yeah, 180 degree. So angle of scattering in this is 180 degree. Scattering angle becomes 180 whenever direct impact is there. అంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా ఆల్ఫా పార్టికల్ టువర్డ్స్ ద న్యూక్లియస్ ఆఫ్ ది గోల్డ్ ఫాయిల్ ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు మాత్రమే. So whenever the alpha particle is projected directly towards the nucleus, in such case only direct impact takes place. Due to that, there is an angle of scattering or angle of deviation by pi radians or 180 degree. In such case, whenever the alpha particle comes close to each other, whenever it is at certain distance, the velocity of the alpha particle becomes 0, and again it turned back and travel away from the nucleus. At that time, the shortest distance between these two is at the instant whenever the velocity becomes 0. At that time, the distance between the alpha particle and the nucleus becomes very small, which is called closest approach. What is that closest approach? According to conservation of energy principle, initially whenever the alpha particle is here, there is no influence of this nucleus of the gold foil over the alpha particle. That's why initial energy of the alpha particle is capital E. But whenever it comes to the position here, as its velocity becomes 0, it loses the kinetic energy. No? So loss of kinetic energy is say delta K. Loss of according to law of conservation of energy, loss of kinetic energy is equal to gain in potential energy by the alpha particle and the nucleus of the gold foil. Because of repulsion between the alpha particle and gold foil here, some potential energy is stored in the system of the alpha particle and gold foil. So here loss of kinetic energy is converted into gain in potential energy by the alpha particle and gold foil, according to conservation of energy principle. So from that, loss of kinetic energy means initial kinetic energy is half into mass of the alpha particle. Suppose mass of the alpha particle say m alpha, velocity of the alpha particle v alpha, and kinetic energy of the alpha particle e alpha say. Then half m alpha into v alpha square. It is the kinetic energy of the alpha particle. When it reaches the point here, kinetic energy becomes 0. So this is the loss of kinetic energy by the alpha particle, which is equal to gain in potential energy. Initially, it has no potential energy. Final potential energy of the system of alpha particle and gold nucleus, whenever they are having closest approach, is equal to, what is the potential energy between these two charged particles? Alpha particle closest approach vachinappudu ante ee position ku vachinappudu, what is the potential energy between these two? It is having charge q1, it is having charge q2. Then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into charge product of charges q1 q2. Q1 means charge of the alpha particle 2e into charge of the nucleus Ze by distance between these two charged particles is r0. R0 is the closest approach. Therefore, R0 is what? R0 is equal to what? So here 2, 4 can be cancelled now. Okay, therefore Ze square by pi epsilon naught m alpha v alpha square. No. So closest approach R0 is equal to Ze square by pi epsilon naught m alpha v alpha square. I think that is the formula.
2e into Ze, sir.
Enama?
That one 2e into Ze. Yeah.
Charge of the alpha particle into 2e ne kadama. 2 units positive charge kada. 2e.
Okay.
Okay. So here charge q1 is equal to 2e. Here charge q2 is equal to Ze. Okay. Therefore, closest approach is equal to Ze square by pi epsilon naught m alpha v alpha square. From this, closest approach is inversely proportional to v alpha square, right, sir? Closest approach is the inversely proportional to v alpha square or small v alpha square. This is the relation. It is about closest approach. Note down. Erase చేసేచ్చా ఇది?
Sir, left side arrange చేసేయచ్చు sir.
ಏನಮ್ಮ?
Left side okay sir, right side ఉంచండి sir.
Left side?
Left side arrange చేయొచ్చు sir, right side ఉంచండి.
ఓకే, రైట్ సైడ్ కంప్లీట్ గా ఉంటుంది. రైట్ సైడ్ కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత అక్కడే మళ్ళీ ఇంకో పాయింట్ చెప్పాలి. ఇది డయాగ్రామ్ ఐ హావ్ టు కీప్ లైక్ దిస్ ఓన్లీ. Because based on the diagram only we can derive the formula for that also.
Completed, sir.
Okay. Next, impact parameter. C, impact parameter. It is represented with B. Here, actually, when alpha particles are projected towards the gold foil, because of repulsion force between the nuclei of gold foil and alpha particles are scattered like this. Suppose if no interaction between the nucleus of the gold foil and alpha particle, here suppose if you take this one, we consider the nucleus of the gold foil here. Suppose if you consider the alpha particle here, if there is no interaction between alpha particle and gold foil, this is alpha particle, or He24. He24. Suppose if there is no interaction between the alpha particle and gold nucleus, then what is the direction of motion of this alpha particle? ఈ రెండు మధ్య ఎటువంటి రిపల్షన్ లేదు. అప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్లీ ఇన్ విచ్ డైరెక్షన్ యూ ప్రొజెక్ట్ ద ఆల్ఫా పార్టికల్ అలాంగ్ ద సేమ్ పాత్ ఇట్ విల్ ట్రావెల్ నో. Then what the perpendicular distance of the initial direction of motion of the alpha particle from the nucleus means this one. This is called impact parameter. అంటే ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ లేనప్పుడు, ఈ రెండు మధ్య ఇంటరాక్షన్ లేనప్పుడు ఇనిషియల్ డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ మోషన్ ఇదే కదా. ఆ ఇనిషియల్ డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ మోషన్ కి ఈ న్యూక్లియస్ ఆఫ్ ది గోల్డ్ ఫాయిల్ కి మధ్య పర్పెండిక్యులర్ డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత ఉందో దట్ ఈస్ ద impact parameter. So the perpendicular distance of the initial direction of motion of the alpha particle from the nucleus of the gold foil or metal foil is called the impact parameter. The perpendicular distance of alpha particle, initial direction of motion of alpha particle, initial direction of motion of alpha particle from the nucleus of gold foil considered is called impact parameter. Is called impact parameter. So by calculations of with the help of the conservation of energy principle, momentum, etc., they obtained the impact parameter formula as ZE square cot theta by 2 whole by 4 pi epsilon naught into E. 4 pi epsilon naught into E. This is the formula for impact parameter. Okay, so here where capital E is the kinetic energy of the alpha particle, which is equal to half m alpha v alpha square, kinetic energy of the alpha particle. Suppose if you substitute the kinetic energy of the alpha particle here, then you will get in terms of V. So therefore B is equal to ZE square cot theta by 2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into E means half m alpha into v alpha square. So here 2 cancel, 2 2s are. Therefore impact parameter is equal to ZE square cot theta by 2 whole by 2 pi epsilon naught m alpha v alpha square. This is the formula for impact parameter in terms of velocity of speed of the alpha particle. It is the formula for impact parameter in terms of kinetic energy of the alpha particle. Kinetic energy of alpha particle. And V alpha, speed of alpha particle. Speed of alpha particle. No doubt. This is about Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. So according to this Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, they said that most of the atom is empty and the total mass of the atom is supposed to be concentrated in a small region of the atom called nucleus. In the nucleus only total positive charge exists. Total positive charge exists. Most of the atom is empty. Most of the atom is empty and total mass and positive charge is supposed to be concentrated in a small region called the nucleus. As it mainly concentrated on the nucleus, this model is also called as this Rutherford alpha scattering model. This Rutherford's model is also called as the nuclear model. Nuclear model of the atom. Nuclear model. So this is about Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. Okay, next. Bohr atom model. Third one, Bohr atom model. Bohr's atom model. Here, by observations, Bohr from experimental results, different experimental results, Bohr explained the structure of the atom in three postulates, with the three postulates. So what is the first postulate? Bohr first postulate is what?
Sir,
What
electrons
is the
revolve
Bohr's
around
first
the
proposal?
nucleus in a circular orbit, sir.
Yeah, every electron revolves around the nucleus in various stationary orbits or circular orbits. Am I right? Stationary orbit means the orbit in which electron does not radiates any energy is called the stationary orbit. So every electron revolves around the nucleus. Every electron in atom revolves around the nucleus in various stationary orbits. Various stationary orbits. Okay. So here, these are the stationary orbits. Suppose these are the stationary orbits, and it is the nucleus. Say, according to Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, already we know the charge of the nucleus is Ze. Different electrons revolves around the nucleus in different various stationary orbits like this. Various stationary orbits like this. Here, in order to move the electron in this orbit or in any orbit, which provides the necessary centripetal force for the electron to revolve around the nucleus in the circular orbit? Tell me.
First electrons.
Huh? In order to make revolutions around the nucleus by the electron here along the circular path, which provides the necessary centripetal force for the electron to move along the circular path around the nucleus. Electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and electron. ఈ రెండింటికి మధ్య ఉండే అట్రాక్షన్ ఫోర్స్ ఉంటుంది కదా, that attraction force provides the necessary centripetal force. So what is the centripetal force acts on the electron? Tell me. Centripetal force acts on the electron is equal to 1 by 4 pi. It is a force between two charges. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into charge Ze into charge of the electron E. You take just magnitude because of negative charge only we have taken the attraction force towards nucleus. మనం నెగిటివ్ ఛార్జ్ మీద పనిచేసే ఫోర్స్ అట్రాక్షన్ కాబట్టి సెంట్రిపెటల్ ఫోర్స్ ఇటువైపు ఉంటుందని తీసుకున్నాం, కాబట్టి మళ్ళీ మైనస్ రాయకండి. సో charge of the nucleus into charge of the electron by the distance square means that is equal to radius of, suppose this electron is in the nth orbit. This electron is say in the nth orbit. Radius of the nth orbit is say Rn. Speed of the electron in the nth orbit is say Vn. Kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit is say Kn. Potential energy is say Un. Total energy of the electron in the nth orbit is say En. Okay. Frequency of the electron in the nth orbit is say Fn. Angular frequency omega n. తర్వాత time period of the electron in the nth orbit is Tn. Angular moment of the electron in the nth orbit is capital L suffix n. Say. Okay, now here 1 by 4 pi epsilon into q1 q2 by distance square. Distance between these two means Rn square, no? So Rn square. This provides necessary centripetal force for the electron to travel along the circular path. That's why this is equal to mv square by r, no? M into speed of the electron in the nth orbit Vn అనుకుంటే Vn mv square by r means Rn. This is equation 1. The force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron provides the necessary centripetal force, that is equal to mv square by r, no? As it is say nth orbit in general, nth orbit, where n is the orbit number or principal quantum number, where n orbit number or principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. Okay, here that attraction force acts on the electron due to nucleus provides the necessary centripetal force, and every electron revolves around the nucleus in various orbits because of this attraction force exerted by the nucleus on the electron, which provides the centripetal force. Due to that, all the electrons in the atom revolves around the nucleus in various stationary orbits around the nucleus. Okay, that is the first postulate. Next, second postulate. What is second postulate? What is the second postulate? Already in structure of atom in chemistry, you had this topic in first year. What is the second? Tell me, Sai. చెప్పండి.
Energy emission and absorption.
No, that is not the second postulate. That is not the second postulate. Anybody else?
Stationary orbits.
Huh?
Energy levels.
No, that second postulate is not related to energy.
Angular momentum.
Yeah, tell me.
Integral.
Angular momentum of the
NH by 2
electron
pi.
in any orbit is integral multiples of
H by
NH
2.
by 2 pi.
h by 2 pi. Okay. Angular momentum of the electron in any orbit, say nth orbit, is equal to integral multiples of h by 2 pi. N is the integer or principal quantum number, where n integer or principal quantum number or orbit number, principal quantum number or orbit number, that n value is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, like this. But angular momentum Ln can be written, suppose the mass of the electron is m, speed is vn, radius of the orbit is rn. Radius of the orbit is rn. Then what is the formula for angular momentum in terms of mvr? M into v, mvn rn is the formula for angular momentum only, no? MVR రాసుకోవచ్చు angular momentum formula. When any particle moving along the circular path about the center, then angular momentum of the particle is equal to mvr only. As it is this electron is in the nth orbit, then m into speed, mass of the electron into speed of the electron in the nth orbit into radius of the nth orbit, that is equal to nh by 2 pi. This is equation 2. This is the second postulate. Okay, next third postulate. What is the third postulate? What is the third postulate? Chapandi. As the electron makes revolutions around the nucleus in the stationary orbit, every electron is having kinetic energy and every electron is having potential energy. The sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy of the any electron in the orbit is the total energy of the particle. Suppose in one orbit total here in the higher energy level, suppose here this is one orbit, this is another orbit, like this. It is the nucleus, Ze. Suppose when electron transition takes place from higher level to lower level, like this, in this total energy of the alpha electron is EI, initial energy. That means in the higher energy level, this is the energy of the electron. In the lower energy level, whenever it jumps to the lower energy level, the energy of the electron is say EF, final energy. Okay, when transition takes place from higher energy level to the lower energy level, whatever the difference in energies, that difference in energy is released in the form of radiation, in the form of energetic radiation. So when transition takes place from one level to another level, whatever the difference in energies, that amount of energy is released when transition takes place from higher level to lower energy level. So when transition takes place from higher level to lower level, comma, energy released in the form of radiation is, in the form of radiation, comma, delta E is equal to final energy minus initial energy. That is the energy released, which is equal to h nu. Also we can write, no, energy of the radiation emitted having frequency in u anukunte energy released is equal to h nu అని కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు మనం, where nu is the frequency of the radiation, frequency of radiation. Here f is the frequency of the orbiting electron, not frequency of the radiation. Here it is the frequency of the radiation emitted, here frequency of the orbiting electron. అంటే 1 second లో ఎన్ని రొటేషన్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తుందో ఆ నెంబర్ ని ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఆఫ్ ది ఆర్బిటింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ అంటాం. అది వేరు, ఇది వేరు. ఓకేనా? దిస్ ఇస్ ద థర్డ్
initial minus
ఏంటమ్మా?
initial minus final.
Of course, when you substitute the data, you will get numerically it is equal to initial minus final energy. Initial minus final energy only you will get, because when you substitute here EI value negative, EF value negative, When you substitute EI value negative, minus or minus plus EI minus EF you will get. Then EI minus EF only you will get, no? EF minus EI only. EI minus EF only you will get. Of course, we can write like that also, no problem. So initial energy minus final energy. You had substitute the magnitudes only. You have to substitute the magnitudes of energies only here. EI and EF. EA and EF are the magnitudes of energies. Magnitudes of energies in initial and final orbits. Initial and final orbits. That is important. So this is the third postulate. So this is a equation 3. From these 3 equations, we have to derive the formula for radius of the nth orbit, speed of the electron in the nth orbit, kinetic energy, potential energy, frequency, angular frequency, time period, angular momentum of the electron in the nth orbit. We have to derive the formulas for them. Okay. And what is the energy released in terms of orbit numbers? We have to derive the formulas for them. That is our aim now. Note down. One by one we have to derive. Equation 1. From equation 1, we have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into ZE into E by Rn square is equal to MVN square by Rn. We have. Then on equation. Attraction force between the electron and nucleus is equal to centripetal force provided. That is equation 1 we got. Okay, from first postulate. From first postulate. Okay, from second postulate. We got angular momentum of the electron in the nth orbit is equal to M Vn Rn, that is equal to NH by 2 pi. That is equation 2. From third postulate, we have energy release is equal to in magnitude EI minus EF or EF minus EI without magnitude. That is equal to H nu. This is equation 3. From these 3 equations, we have to derive everything. So first, in this A, radius of the nth orbit. Radius of nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom. Every atom which follows these postulates, Bohr postulate, they are called hydrogen-like atoms. Okay, for any hydrogen-like atom, radius of nth orbit. Radius of nth orbit R suffix n. Okay, you see, from equation 2, is substitute Vn value in equation 1. From 2, Vn is equal to NH by 2 pi into mRn. Substitute this value in equation 1. This is a 4. 4 in 1 gives 4 in 1. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into ZE square by Rn square is equal to M by Rn into Vn square means Vn means this one. Vn means this one. Okay, substitute the value. You substitute the Vn value here. Vn means this one square. Square means NH by 2 pi mRn whole square. Here Rn square, this Rn square will be cancelled. From this Rn is equal to what? We have to write. Remaining Rn is there, no? So from that Rn is equal to what? 1 minute. You note down. Right. So from this, Rn is equal to, what is the value you will get? You see, what is the formula you will get? From this, Rn is equal to, we will have epsilon naught h square by pi me square into n square by z. N square by z you will get. This is the formula for radius of the nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom having atomic number z and orbit number n. Okay. Here from this, for any atom, E epsilon naught h m is the mass of the electron, E all are constants, no, where m is the mass of the electron, m mass of electron. Of course, E charge of the electron in magnitude. You know, this bracket term is constant. When bracket term is constant, then Rn is proportional to n square by z. We can write now. If we substitute this value, if you substitute epsilon naught value, h value, m value, e value, and if we simplify them, you will get 0.53. Here this constant is say R naught. Then Rn is equal to R naught into n square by z, where R naught is equal to epsilon naught h square by pi m e square. Epsilon naught h square by pi m e square. Here this value, when you simplify them, then you will get 0.53 in angstroms. You write in angstroms. Therefore, Rn is equal to R naught means 0.53 into n square by z, that much angstrom. This is the formula for radius of the nth orbit. From this, it is clear that Rn is proportional to n square by z. Rn is proportional to n square by z. Okay. Here, this relation we need. This is important relation. Of course, we cannot remember these formulas. Based on the concepts only, you have to derive if they ask. Okay. If the answer is given, radius of the nth orbit is dash. In options, if the options are given like this, then we have to derive. Generally, they are not asking like that. In any hydrogen-like atom, the radius of the first orbit is so and so. Then what is the radius of the third orbit? Like that they ask. So first orbit, third orbit means we are given n value. N is equal to 1, n is equal to 3. Then what about R1, R2? As R is proportional to n square, R1 by R2 is equal to n1 by n2 whole square. N1 is equal to 1 first case, in n2 is equal to 3 in second case. R1 by R2. Then you substitute and simplify them, you will get the radius of the third orbit, like that. Okay, this relation we need mainly. Next, so we got the radius of the nth orbit. General formula is this one, and this is this equation is 4. It is relation between nth orbit number and atomic number and the radius of the nth orbit. Rn is proportional to n square by z. Okay, next B. Speed of the electron in the nth orbit. Speed of electron in the nth orbit. Nth orbit. V suffix n. Speed of the electron in the nth orbit. V suffix n. So here already we got the Rn value. No, you substitute Rn value in this equation 2. So from 2, Vn is equal to, we can write Vn is equal to nh by 2 pi m Rn. 2 pi m Rn. Am I right? Vn is equal to nh by 2 pi into m Rn. Okay. Now you substitute Rn value. Just now we got, no, you substitute this value there. That is equal to nh by 2 pi m into Rn means epsilon naught h square, epsilon naught h square, n square by means into pi m e square z, pi m e square into z. Here pi m cancel. Okay, next thing cancel levu kada, ikkada n square cancel. Therefore, speed of the electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen like atom is equal to enema
H also.
H can be cancelled, square cancel. So remaining is e square by 2 epsilon naught h into z by n. this is the formula for speed of the electron in the nth orbit of the hydrogen atom. So Vn is equal to, we have Vn is equal to E square by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N. Okay, this is the equation 5. This is equation 5. Okay, from this, speed of the electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom is proportional to Z by N, because this bracket term is constant. This bracket term is constant. Okay, this can be written in simple way as Vn is equal to E square by 2 epsilon naught into H into, just you multiply with C and divide with C. You multiply with C and divide with C. Speed of the light, C means speed of the light. It makes no difference, into Z by N, where C, speed of light. So this is equal to, therefore, note down, this implies Vn is equal to, here C, E square by 2 epsilon naught HC, that is equal to 1 by 137. Then C by 137 into Z by N. C by 137 into Z by N. C by 137 into Z by N. Yeah, this is the formula for speed of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen-like atom. Here, E square, since E square by 2 epsilon naught HC, that is equal to 1 by 137. E square by 2 epsilon naught H into C value is equal to 1 by 137. So 1 by 137 into C, that means C by 137 into Z by N. This is the formula for speed of the electron, where C is the speed of the light. Speed of light. No doubt. That means when you substitute the charge of the electron, epsilon naught value, H value, C value, and simplify them, you will get 1 by 137 approximately. That's why I have substituted 1 by 137 into C is there, into Z by N. So here, speed of the electron in any hydrogen-like atom is directly proportional to Z by N. This formula you have to remember to do the problems. Mostly, they are asking the problems based on this type of formulas only. This type of formula like this only. So better to remember like this. If they ask in terms of this, definitely we have to derive by these formulas only. We cannot remember them. Okay. Now, so we have radius of the nth orbit. Radius of the nth orbit is equal to epsilon naught H square by pi m E square into N square by Z. That is equation 4 we got. Next, equation 5. Vn is equal to E square by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N. This is equation 5 we got. Okay. We have derived Rn and Vn formulas. They are equations 4 and 5. When you know R and Vn, we can derive the formula for angular momentum of the electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom. No? Okay. Therefore, fourth one, angular momentum of electron in nth orbit, L suffix N anukondi. Angular momentum of electron. Already we know angular momentum of the electron in the nth orbit according to Bohr second postulate is MVR, MVN, Rn. No? That is equal to M into Vn means you substitute this formula. E square by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N into Rn means you substitute this formula. Epsilon naught h square by pi m e square into n square by z. Therefore, L suffix n is equal to, and ఏం cancel అవుతాయి చూడండి ఇక్కడ, epsilon naught can be cancelled, h square can be cancelled, okay, ఇంకా e square can be cancelled, m can be cancelled, ఇంకా z కరెక్ట్ అని ఇక్కడ z స్క్వేర్ కదా, ఇది చూడండి ఒకసారి, I think it is z square or z,
So
Z
Z
square
one.
ఉంటుంది సార్.
Z only, sir.
z ఓన్లీనా,
Z.
ఓకే ఓకే. Okay, angular momentum of the electron. సో క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోతుంది ఇక్కడ, z క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోతుంది కదా. సో సింప్లిఫై చేస్తే నీకు వచ్చే వాల్యూ జస్ట్ h/2π వస్తుంది చూడండి, సారీ n స్క్వేర్ క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోతే n ఇంటూ h/2π వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ, n ఇంటూ h/2π, అదేం చేంజ్ కాదు. అంటే angular momentum of the electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen like atom is directly proportional to orbit number, that's all. చూడండి ఇక్కడ 2π మిగులుతుంది, ఇంకేం మిగలదు, h/2π ఇంటూ n, అదేగా ఫార్ములా మనకు ఆల్రెడీ. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఫోర్త్ వన్. నెక్స్ట్ ఫిఫ్త్ వన్, as we know the kinetic energy, as we know the speed of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen atom, nth orbit of any hydrogen like atom, then kinetic energy we can find now. So kinetic energy of electron in nth orbit, k suffix n అనుకోండి. So kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit అంటే half m mass of the electron into speed of the electron in the nth orbit square, no, that is equal to half m into what is the speed of the electron, this one. So e square by 2 epsilon naught h into z by n, ఇది స్పీడ్ స్క్వేర్ కాబట్టి స్క్వేర్. ఓకే, therefore kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen like atom is equal to m e to the power of 4 by m into e to the power of e square whole square into e to the power of 4 by 2 into 4 epsilon naught square h square, means 4 into 2 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square, no, into z square by n square, no. So this is the formula for kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit of the hydrogen like atom, m e to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. It is the formula for kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen like atom. This is equation 6. No, this is equation 6, this is equation 7. It is the kinetic energy of the electron in the hydrogen, in any hydrogen like atom. In case of hydrogen atom, we had to put z is equal to 1. Okay, because atomic number of the hydrogen atom is 1, no. Next, okay, next, kinetic energy is 4. So from this, what is the relation between kinetic energy and atomic number? Because this is constant for any atom, m e epsilon naught h is constant, then kinetic energy in nth orbit is directly proportional to atomic number square by n square, no. This relation is also very, very important. Next, potential energy of the electron in the any hydrogen like atom. Potential energy of electron, potential energy of electron in any hydrogen like atom, that is U suffix n. What is the formula for potential energy? Tell me. Suppose in this nth orbit of radius Rn, one electron is making revolutions around the nucleus of charge Ze, and here electron is having charge minus e, no. Then here it is the negative charge, it is the positive charge. Always the electron revolves around the nucleus in this orbit of radius Rn. That Rn is fixed, that Rn does not change. That's why between the electron and nucleus, because of their charges, some interaction is there between them now. Due to that interaction, Coulomb's interaction. Some energy is associated with the electron and the nucleus. That is the potential energy. That potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom is equal to general formula 1/4 pi epsilon naught into general formula charge q1 into q2 by distance between them. ఇది కదా జనరల్ ఫార్ములా. ఇక్కడ చార్జ్ q1 అంటే ఇది తీసుకోండి, q2 అంటే ఇది తీసుకోండి. Therefore, ఈ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ un is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon naught into charge q1 means Ze, q2 means minus e by r means rn. So that is equal to minus Ze square by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by rn means already we derived here. Epsilon naught h square pi m e square. Here you will have n square z by n square by rn ante epsilon naught h square n square by pi m e square z. No, here you see this is equal to minus pi m e square e to the power of 4 by 4 pi epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. Here pi cancel, we can cancel them. So energy of the potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom is equal to minus me to the power of 4 by 4 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. No, this is constant. No, this is the equation for potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen-like atom. That is equation H. You see the formula for kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy me to the power of 4 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. Potential energy also same, but here only in the denominator 4, here 4 is there, here 8 is there, and sign convention is different. Here minus sign represents the potential energy is because of attraction force between the nucleus and the electron of the electron in the orbit of the atom. That negative sign represents potential energy is acquired by the electron due to attraction force. Due to repulsion force also potential energy is acquired, that you will get positive potential energy. Here this negative sign represents potential energy is acquired by the electron because of negative charge. Okay, because of attraction force. Here is the in magnitude, is the potential energy is more or kinetic energy is more in magnitude? In magnitude, is the potential energy is more or kinetic energy is more?
Potential energy, sir.
Potential energy.
Yeah, potential energy is more. From this, potential energy is proportional to z square by n square. We can write now because this is constant. So potential energy is directly proportional to z square by n square as kinetic energy here. Kn is proportional to z square by n square. No, so we have kinetic energy, we have potential energy of the electron in that orbit.
ఇట్లా ప్రొపోర్షనాలిటీ మీద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉంటాయా లేకపోతే టోటల్ ఫార్ములా మీద ఉంటాయా?
ప్రపోర్షనాలిటీ రిలేషన్ మీద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ జనరల్ గా అడుగుతూ ఉంటాడు. ఏది vn కి rn కి. ఎనర్జీకి వచ్చేసరికి టోటల్ ఫార్ములా మీద ప్రాబ్లం అడుగుతాడు. అయితే దీన్ని సింప్లిఫై చేస్తే మనకి 13.6 అట్లా వస్తుంది కదా. సారీ, టోటల్ ఎనర్జీ ఫార్ములా రాసిన తర్వాత దాన్ని సింప్లిఫై చేస్తే 13.6 వస్తుంది, డైరెక్ట్ గా వస్తుంది. అది చూద్దాం. ఇట్లా అడిగినప్పుడు డెఫినెట్ గా ఆ మెథడ్ ప్రకారం ఈ ఫార్ములా కనుక ఇస్తే ఆ మెథడ్ ప్రకారం డిరైవ్ చేయాల్సిందే. వీ కెనాట్ రిమెంబర్ దీస్ ఫార్ములాస్. ఓకే, నౌ వీ నో the kinetic energy of the electron in the orbit and potential energy of the electron in that orbit. Then we can find the total energy of the electron. No, total energy of the electron in that orbit. So what is the total energy? So now seventh one, total energy of the electron. Seventh one, total energy is capital E suffix n of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen-like atom. Total energy is equal to kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit plus potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit. So En is equal to, what is the kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit? Means we have me to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square we got, plus potential energy means minus we got minus me to the power of 4 by 4 epsilon naught square h square into z square by n square. Okay, so therefore En is equal to, when you subtract them, what you will get? Minus me to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon naught square h square into Z square by N square we will get now. Okay. This is the formula for total energy of the electron in any hydrogen-like atom. This is equation 9. So here M is constant, E is constant, epsilon naught H, all values constant. So when you substitute them and when you simplify them, you will get approximately En is equal to minus 13.6. En is equal to here in this formula minus m e to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon r square H square. 1 minute. Okay, here you here in order to remember the formula, in order to write the formula in terms of Rydberg constant capital R, you multiply with CH and divide with CH. It makes no difference. So En is equal to minus m e to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon r square H square into multiply with the speed of the light into Planck's constant by speed of the light into Planck's constant into Z square by N square. Z square by N square. Okay, this is equal to, so this is equal to here this minus m e to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon r square H square into H cube into C, keep in brackets, into CH into Z square by N square. This formula, this bracket term is constant, that is called Rydberg constant. So therefore, but Rydberg constant, Rydberg's constant, that is represented with capital R, which is equal to m e to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon r square H cube into C. That is called Rydberg constant. So that Rydberg constant value m e to the power of 4 by 8 epsilon r square H cube C, that value is equal to 1.09. This is equal to 1.097 into 10 to the power of 7 per meter. This is nearly equal to 1.1 into 10 to the power of 7. We can write now 1.1 into 10 to the power of 7 per meter. This is the Rydberg constant value. That is constant. Okay, now you write the total energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen-like atom in terms of Rydberg constant. Shall I write this one? Shall I write this one? Erase చేసేయచ్చా ఇది?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now the equation for electron in the nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom is equal to, this can be written as capital R, Rydberg constant. Of course, minus is there, minus R CH into Z square by N square. Z square by N square. Okay, here when you substitute the data, R means 1.1 into 10 to the power of 7, C speed of light, you substitute in SI system, you substitute this also in SI system, and you simplify them. Then you will get in Joule. In Joule you will get, because energy, no, that is in Joule. In order to convert them into electron volt, then this is equal to minus RCH by, in order to convert the Joule into electron volt, we have to divide with the charge of the electron, no, into Z square by N square. So En is equal to minus, you substitute R value 1.1 into 10 to the power of 7, speed of the light 3 into 10 to the power of 8, Planck's constant 6.6 into 10 to the power of minus 34, charge of the electron in magnitude is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Substitute them, simplify them, then you will get 13.6 into Z square by N square. You will get this in electron volt. Electron volt. This is the formula for energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen-like atom in electron volt. మనకి జనరల్ గా ఎలక్ట్రాన్ వోల్ట్స్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి this formula is very very important. Okay. Minus 13.6 into Z square by N square in electron volt. Okay. Sometime once they asked, when in China paper once they asked, if the mass of the electron is doubled, whatever the Rydberg constant. Mass of the electron double చేస్తే Rydberg constant ఏమవుతుంది అన్నాడు. Rydberg constant is proportional to m, no? When mass of the electron is doubled and the remaining parameters are same, then Rydberg constant will be doubled.
Double.
No? Rydberg constant also becomes double. Okay. So this is the formula for energy of the electron in the hydrogen like atom. For hydrogen atom, for n is equal to 1, that means in the first orbit, energy of the electron in the first orbit E1 is equal to energy of the electron in the first orbit of hydrogen atom E1 is equal to, here that is for hydrogen atom, energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen atom is equal to minus 13.6 by n square, no? Since Z is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. Okay. Now for first orbit, in first orbit energy of the electron is equal to n is equal to 1, then minus 13.6 electron volt, no? In second orbit, not for in, you write. In n is equal to 1 orbit, in n is equal to 2 orbit, energy of the electron in the second orbit is equal to 13.6 by 2 square means 4. When you divide it with 4, then you will get minus 3.4 electron volt. Similarly, in third orbit, energy of the electron in the third orbit is equal to 3 square means 9. 13.6 by 9 means minus 9 ones are 9, 46, 9 5s are 45, 10, 9 ones are. So that much electron volt. In n is equal to infinity, that means at infinite orbit, that means the orbit which is far from the nucleus. In such case, what is E infinity value? Something by infinity square means infinity, something by infinity 0. So energy of the electron in the infinite orbit is 0. That means when the electron is in the infinite orbit, then there is no interaction of the nucleus on that electron. In such case, the energy of the electron is 0. Energy of the electron in the infinite orbit is equal to 0. Okay. Next. So this is one more point 7. Next, 8th point. Okay. Shall I erase this part? E part erase cheyacha?
Yes, sir.
మీకు ఆల్రెడీ షేర్ చేసిన పీడిఎఫ్ లో ఈ మొత్తం ఉన్నాయండి, డెరివేషన్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి టోటల్. నెక్స్ట్ 8th one కదా, 8th one. Frequency of the radiation. Frequency of radiation. No, first frequency, not frequency, wavelength. First you find wavelength. Wavelength of radiation emitted due to transition. Due to transition from N2 level to N2 orbit to N1 orbit, N2 level to N1 level. Lambda you take. Wavelength of the radiation emitted due to transition of electron. Transition means transition of electron only from N2 level to N1 level. Suppose this is a nucleus ZE. Here this is N1 orbit, this is N2 orbit. When transition takes place from N2 level to N1 level, what is the wavelength of the emitted radiation and what is the frequency of the emitted radiation? First, wavelength of the emitted radiation kavali. In N1 orbit, energy of the electron is what? Minus 13.6 Z square by N1 square, no? From this formula. In N2 orbit, in N2 orbit, or you write this formula. By this formula you write not 13.6. E1 is equal to minus RCH into Z square by N1 square. Next, in N2 orbit, energy of the electron in the N2 orbit is equal to minus RCH Z square by N2 square. So when transition takes place from N2 to N1 level, the energy released or energy radiated delta E is equal to, tell me what is the formula? Final energy level is this one, initial energy level is this one. So final energy minus initial energy. Final energy minus initial energy. This is equal to E1 ante minus RCH Z square by N1 square minus of E2 ante minus RCH Z square by N2 square. So here you take minus common in both. Minus RCZ you take RCH Z square you take common. RCH into Z square you take common. Then you will get 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay. So the energy radiated, energy emitted is equal to minus RCH Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay. So here, what is the RCH value? RCH value. R is the Rydberg constant, C is the speed of light, H is the Planck's constant. This RCH value already we know, that is equal to minus, okay, you can keep later. Energy, this is the energy released. Energy released is equal to H nu, no? This energy released delta E is equal to H nu. Therefore, that implies H into nu means C by lambda. That is equal to minus RCH Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. So here C cancel, CH cancel. Therefore, I think I can erase this one. Okay. Okay, now 1 by lambda is equal to minus RZ square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. So 1 by lambda is equal to RZ square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay. That is the formula for the wavelength here. That is the formula for wavelength of the, from that formula we can find the wavelength of the emitted radiation. Okay. So just you take magnitude, that is enough. So therefore, mod 1 by lambda is equal to mod minus RZ. Here minus sign represents only whenever the transition takes place, energy is released. So energy radiated is equal to, simply we have to take the minus sign represents only energy is lost or energy is radiated. So when you consider the energy radiated, then we can find only magnitude only. Energy radiated, this minus sign represents energy is radiated only. That's why we need not consider the minus sign. Therefore, energy radiated, you take positive value only. That is enough. And ikkada you need not write this one. Minus sign represents only energy is lost. Therefore, energy radiated, here energy lost, comma delta E is equal to this one. Therefore, energy radiated, this minus sign represents energy radiated or energy is emitted. That's why it has, that is only the importance of negative sign. That's why therefore energy radiated, when you write, you need not write the minus sign. Minus sign represents energy radiated. So when you write the energy radiated, then you need not write minus sign. So the energy radiated is equal to plus this one. Therefore, energy radiated is equal to this one. This is the formula for wavelength of the emitted radiation. Reciprocal of wavelength of the emitted radiation is called wave number, no? Therefore, wave number lambda bar is equal to reciprocal of wavelength, that is equal to Rz square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. That is the wave number. That is the wave number. Already Rydberg constant value we know 1.1 into 10 to the power 7, no? 1 by lambda is equal to Rydberg constant means 1.1 into 10 to the power 7 into z square of 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. We can write like this also. What is this equation number? How many equations we have derived? How many
Sir, 11,
equations are
sir.
completed?
Up to 10 completed. 11.
10
sir.
complete means this is 11. Okay. By using this formula, we can find the wavelength of the emitted radiation. Next, what about the frequency of the emitted radiation? Frequency.
సార్ వేవ్ నెంబర్ దగ్గర బ్రాకెట్ లో తప్పు రాసినట్టున్నాను.
Lambda bar రాద్దామా?
సార్ వేవ్ నెంబర్ దగ్గర RZ స్క్వేర్ ఇంటూ రెసిప్రోకల్ కదా సార్ రాయాల్సింది, ఎగ్జాక్ట్ రాస్తారు.
No. Wave number is equal to reciprocal of wavelength. This value is called wave number. That's why lambda bar is called 1 by lambda only. 1 by lambda means this one, you know.
ఓకే
1 by lambda itself is called wave number. Okay.
ఓకే సార్.
Right. Frequency of emitted radiation. Is equal to nu. Already we know speed of the emitted radiation C is equal to nu lambda. We can write now. Implies nu is equal to C by lambda. Nu is equal to C by lambda, no? Therefore, nu is equal to C by lambda. That is equal to C into 1 by lambda means we can write this one, no? 1.1 into 10 to the power 7 z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Therefore, frequency of the emitted radiation is equal to C means 3 into 10 to the power 8. When you multiply them, then 3.3 into 10 to the power 15 z square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This is the formula for frequency of the emitted radiation. This is equation 12. Since C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Note down. This is the frequency of the emitted radiation.
So 1 minute.
Enna?
సార్ 1 minute.
1 minute.
Okay. Rushik.
Completed.
Okay. It is 8th point, no? 8th point was completed, no?
Yes, sir.
9th point. What is the formula for kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit of hydrogen, nth orbit of any hydrogen-like atom? We have kinetic energy is equal to m e to the power 4 by 8 epsilon r square h square into z square by n square we got. It is constant. Potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit is equal to minus m e to the power 4 by 4 epsilon r square h square into z square by n square. We got this one. Total energy En is equal to minus m e to the power 4 by 8 epsilon r square h square into z square by n square. Okay, if you draw the graph, between principal quantum number, when principal quantum number gradually increase, how does the energy, any type of energy changes? Here, when n increase, kn value decrease, no? As inverse relation is there between n square and kn, definitely you will get a curve. Okay,
rectangle parabola.
you will get the graph like this. And moreover, kinetic energy is always positive. That's why the energy must be along positive direction only. So this is the formula for kinetic energy versus n graph. Kinetic energy versus n graph. Okay, next, total energy. Here total energy is also inversely proportional to n square, but negative value. That's why if you draw the graph, you will get the graph like this. Because at infinity E is equal to 0. That's why this graph is parallel to this principal quantum number axis. This is En versus n graph. Next, for potential energy versus n graph, if you draw the potential energy versus n graph, then you will get like this. This is potential energy versus n graph. For various energies, we will get the graphs like this. Okay, note change. When n increases, when n increases, what about the energy of the electron? When n increases, what about the energy of the electron? En
Decreases, sir.
Decreases, sir.
when n increases, this negative value decreases. Negative value decrease means energy increase. No, when n increases, negative value decreases. Negative value decrease means energy increase. No, you see, when n increases, negative value gradually decreases. Okay, that's why when n increases, negative value decrease means energy level increases. Similarly, when n increases, kinetic energy value, tell me.
Decrease.
Decrease. When n increases, what about the potential energy?
Decrease.
Decreases.
When n increases, negative value decrease means potential energy increase. No, okay. Next, last point, magnetic moment of the orbiting electron. Shall I raise this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tenth one. Magnetic moment of orbiting electron. Capital M suffix n. In case of orbiting electron, suppose here it is the nucleus of charge Ze and electron charge E. It is rotating in nth orbit of radius Rn. The speed of the electron in this orbit is say Vn. Tell me what is the formula for orbiting electron, magnetic moment of the orbiting electron? What is the current in case of current carrying coil? What is the formula for magnetic moment of the current carrying coil? Magnetic moment of the current carrying coil is what? Magnetic moment of the current carrying coil, because already I said every current carrying coil behaves like a magnetic dipole, which is having magnetic moment. M is equal to capital M is equal to anybody else? ఎవరికి తెలియదు, ఐడియా లేదా? Magnetic moment of the current carrying coil, I am asking, not about electron, orbiting electron.
BIL.
BIL, అది force acts on the current carrying conductor in a magnetic field కదండి.
MUS, sir. MUL.
ఏంటి? ఎప్పుడన్నా బిఫోర్ క్రైస్ట్ NIA అనే ఫార్ములా విన్నారా అసలు?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ఎప్పుడు బిఫోర్ క్రైస్ట్ విన్నాం కాబట్టి ఐడియా లేదు.
Torquing, sir. Torque acting లో విన్నాం, sir.
అదే బిఫోర్ క్రైస్ట్ కాబట్టి ఐడియా లేదు మనకి, అంతే కదా. సో మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎనీ కరెంట్ క్యారింగ్ కాయిల్ or any orbiting electron is equal to, general formula is NIA. Of course, here only one orbit is there. Here N is equal to 1 as one orbit. I is the electric current equivalent to orbiting electron. Electric current equivalent to orbiting electron. Equivalent to orbiting electron. So we have to derive the formula for this. A, area of the orbiting electron. Area of the coil అంటాం కదా, ఇక్కడ orbiting electron కాబట్టి area of the orbiting electron. Area of the orbiting, sorry, area of the orbit of the electron. Area of orbit of electron. Okay, suppose it is nth orbit, then area of the orbiting electron is what? Area of the orbiting electron is what? Already we derived the formula for radius of the orbiting electron, no? That's why area of the orbiting electron is equal to pi r n square. Pi r square kada. Here radius of the orbit rn kabatti area of the orbit of the electron is equal to pi rn square. That is equal to pi into what about rn? Already we derived the formula for radius of the nth orbit, no? So you substitute that value. So what is the formula for radius of the nth orbit? Radius of the nth orbit is equal to h square epsilon naught
0.5.
h square epsilon naught by h square epsilon naught by pi m square, pi m square into n square by z. n square by z, అంతే కదా.
Whole
ఇది
square.
రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ ది nth ఆర్బిట్, స్క్వేర్ ఉంది కాబట్టి స్క్వేర్. ఇది ఏరియా ఆఫ్ ది nth ఆర్బిట్, ఏరియా ఆఫ్ ది nth ఆర్బిట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎలక్ట్రాన్. నెక్స్ట్, వాట్ అబౌట్ ద I value? I value is equal to, లేకపోతే ఓకే, I value అంటే చూడండి, when the electron is orbiting around the nucleus through any point in the orbit in a time capital T seconds. Suppose Tn is the time period of the orbiting electron in this nth orbit. For every capital Tn seconds, electron once passing through this point, అంటే ఈ పాయింట్ ద్వారా Tn సెకండ్స్ లో ఒక ఎలక్ట్రాన్ పాస్ అయిందంటే ఈ ఛార్జ్ పాస్ అయినట్లే కదా. అప్పుడు దానికి ఈక్వలెంట్ కరెంట్ అంటే E/Tn గా. దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్ టు E/Tn. అంటే మనకి Tn తెలియదు, Rn తెలుసు, Vn తెలుసు. అప్పుడు Rn Vn టర్మ్స్ లో ఎట్లా రాయొచ్చు? ఇట్ ఈస్ ద టైమ్ టేకెన్ బై ద ఎలక్ట్రాన్ టు కంప్లీట్ వన్ రొటేషన్. వన్ రొటేషన్ అంటే ట్రావెల్ చేసే డిస్టెన్స్ 2πRn బై స్పీడ్ Vn, అంతేగా. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్ టు EVn by 2πRn. It is the electric current equivalent to orbiting electron. Therefore, magnetic moment is equal to I into A. I ante idega formula, EVn by 2πRn into A means pi Rn square. You write pi Rn square first, pi Rn square. Rn square cancel, pi cancel. Therefore, magnetic moment of the orbiting electron is equal to EVn Rn by 2, no? By 2, no? You substitute Vn Rn values in the equation here. Vn Rn values formula derive చేసాం కదా. Rn అంటే ఇదే కదా, ఇక్కడ ఈ బ్రాకెట్ టర్మ్. ఆ వాల్యూ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేయండి. Vn అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఫార్ములా డిరైవ్ చేసాం, అది సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేయండి. దెన్ యూ విల్ గెట్ ఆన్సర్. ఓకే, నోట్ చేయండి. This is another equation. ఎన్నోదండి ఈక్వేషన్ నెంబర్ ఎంత ఇది? 11 or 12? ఈక్వేషన్ నెంబర్ 13.
13 sir.
13. Where Rn is equal to, Rn ఇక్కడ నోట్ చేసాం ఆల్రెడీ, h square epsilon naught by pi me square into n square by z. అట్లాగే Vn, speed of the electron in the orbit, speed of electron in the orbit. Vn is equal to, we derived the formula for Vn as E square by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ ఫార్ములాలో ఈ వాల్యూ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసేయండి, అప్పుడు ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్ జెడ్ మీకు ఫార్ములా వస్తుంది. ఓకే, దేర్ ఫర్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్ M is equal to magnetic moment N is equal to capital M is equal to E by 2 into Vn. Vn means this one, E square by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N into Rn. Rn means you substitute this one, H square epsilon naught by pi M E square into N square by Z. సో దీంట్లో క్యాన్సిల్ అయ్యా ఉన్నాయా? E square can be cancelled, epsilon naught can be cancelled. ఓకే, ఇంకా H square cancel, ఇక్కడ H square cancel చేయొచ్చు కదా, H square cancel చేయండి. ఇంకేం క్యాన్సిల్ చేయొచ్చు? Z క్యాన్సిల్ చేసేయచ్చుగా, ఇక్కడ Z, ఇక్కడ Z క్యాన్సిల్ చేయండి, అంతేనా?
ఎన్ సార్,
N కి ఇక్కడ స్క్వేర్ క్యాన్సిల్ అయిపోతుంది, మిగిలింది M is equal to EHN by 4 pi m. EHM by 4 pi m. అంతేగా?
Yes, sir.
EHN సార్.
ఓకే, EHM by 4 pi mm సారీ N కదా ఇది, N EHN అది అంటే దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్ టు EH by 4 pi m అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్ అండి, ఇంటూ N. దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఫార్ములా ఫర్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్. అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ 14. సో మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆర్బిటింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఈస్ డైరెక్ట్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ టు ప్రిన్సిపల్ క్వాంటమ్ నెంబర్ ఓన్లీ. ఓకే, ఇంకా అటామిక్ నెంబర్ మీద డిపెండ్ కాదు, ప్రిన్సిపల్ క్వాంటమ్ నెంబర్ మీద డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది. This is the relation. Okay, note down. Right, these are the different formulas. So based on this, today you have to do the problems. ఇది అరేంజ్ చేసేయచ్చా? ఇది ఎన్నో పాయింట్ అండి? ఇది మనం డిస్కస్ చేసిన 9th దా? ఇది మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆర్బిటింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ 9th దా, ఎన్నోది అది?
10th point, sir.
10th one అంటే 11th. నెక్స్ట్, మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ ఎట్ ద సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆర్బిటింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్. మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ క్యారింగ్ కాయిల్ ఎట్ ద సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ ది కరెంట్ క్యారింగ్ కాయిల్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ ఫార్ములా ఉందిగా. వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఫార్ములా? μ0 Ni by 2R కదా. అట్లాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ at the center of the orbiting electron around the nucleus. Orbiting electron around the nucleus. B suffix n. nth orbit లో nth orbit ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రెవల్యూషన్ చేసినప్పుడు సెంటర్ దగ్గర మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్ ఫార్ములా. సేమ్ డయాగ్రామ్. ఇది nth ఆర్బిట్ అనుకోండి, ఇది న్యూక్లియస్ చార్జ్, ఇది ఎలక్ట్రాన్ -e, రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆర్బిట్ Rn, స్పీడ్ Vn. Tell me, in case of current carrying coil at its center, what is the formula for magnetic induction? μ0 Ni by 2R కదా. ఇక్కడ I అంటే nth ఆర్బిట్ లో ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రెవల్యూషన్ చేసినప్పుడు దానికి ఈక్వలెంట్ కరెంట్ బై Rn. μ Ni by 2R కదా, 2Rn. సో ఇక్కడ n ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ 1 అండి, ఓన్లీ 1 ఆర్బిటే కాబట్టి n ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ 1. సో మ్యూ నాట్ IN బై 2RN. సో మ్యూ నాట్ బై 2RN. వాట్ అబౌట్ IN? IN ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు E బై TN. మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఇందా చెప్పా, E బై ఇక్కడ ఉందా, లేదు కదా, TN అంటే 2 పై RN బై VN మీన్స్ ఇంటూ VN. సో I ప్లేస్ లో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసేయండి, IN ప్లేస్ లో E ఇంటూ VN బై 2 పై RN. Therefore that is equal to mu naught by 2 into 2 4 pi into ఇక్కడ EVN by RN square. ఇదేగా, ఇంతేనా? చూడండి ఒకసారి సింప్లిఫికేషన్. mu naught by 4 pi RN square, mu naught by 4 pi RN square EVN. Okay, so this is the general formula for magnetic induction at the center of the orbiting electron. This is equation 15. Of course, where VN RN values same, VN is equal to RN is equal to ఈ formulas అక్కడ substitute చేయండి, simplify చేయండి, you will get answer. So BN is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into E into VN అంటే ఇది E square by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N 1 by RN square and 1 by RN square అండి, అంటే రెసిప్రోకల్ రాసి స్క్వేర్ చేయండి. pi m e square Z by H square epsilon naught N square whole square. ఇది ఫార్ములా. దీంట్లో క్యాన్సిల్ అయ్యే ఏమనంటే క్యాన్సిల్ చేసేసేయండి. దట్ ఈస్ ఈక్వల్ టు mu naught by 4 pi into EQ by 2 epsilon naught H into Z by N into ఇక్కడ pi square m square e to power 4 Z square by H to power 4 epsilon naught square into n to power 4. క్యాన్సిల్ చేసింది, రిమైనింగ్ రాయండి. ఏమైనా క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతాయి చూడండి, దీంట్లో ఒక పై క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతుందండి, ఇంకా పై క్యాన్సిల్, ఇంకేం క్యాన్సిల్ అవ్వట్లేదు అసలు. ఇక్కడ n to power 5 అవుతుంది, Z క్యూబ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, మీరు ఆ ఒక్క రిలేషన్ రాయండి చాలు. ఇది ఫార్ములా అండి. దీని నుంచి BN is equal to ఇక్కడ పై స్క్వేర్ క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతుందండి. ఇక్కడ పై స్క్వేర్ క్యాన్సిల్ చేసేయండి, పై ఇక్కడ స్క్వేర్ మిగిలింది mu naught by 4 into 2 అంటే 8, mu naught by 8 into ఇక్కడ ఈ క్యూబ్, ఇక్కడ e to power 4, ఇంకేం లేవు, క్యాన్సిల్ అయ్యేం లేవు కదా, కాబట్టి e to power 7. ఇది అయిపోయింది, e to power 7 అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ Z, ఇక్కడ Z స్క్వేర్, ఇక్కడ పై ఉంది కదా, ఆ పై కూడా రాద్దాం. పై ఇక్కడ ఒక Z, ఇక్కడ ఒక Z స్క్వేర్ అంటే Z to power 3 అని అయిపోయినాయి. పైన చూడండి, mu naught పై అయిపోయింది, e to power 7 అయిపోయింది, తర్వాత Z పై అయిపోయి e to Z క్యూబ్ అయిపోయింది. ఓకే, బై ఇక్కడ డినామినేటర్ లో 4 into 2 8 ఆల్రెడీ రాసాం. ఇక్కడ ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్, ఇక్కడ ఒక ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ స్క్వేర్ అంటే ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ క్యూ, ఎప్సిలాన్ క్యూ అయిపోయింది. ఇక్కడ H, ఇక్కడ H to power 4 అంటే H to power 5 అయిపోయింది. ఇంకా ఇక్కడ N, ఇక్కడ N to power 4 అంటే N to power 5. చూడండి అన్ని వచ్చేసి నేను చూడండి ఒకసారి.
సార్ m స్క్వేర్ సార్ న్యూమరేటర్.
ఏనమ్మా? m స్క్వేర్ పైన. ఓకే, m స్క్వేర్. ఓకేనా? Therefore magnetic connection at the center of the orbiting electron in the nth orbit is equal to mu naught pi m square e to power 7 by 8 epsilon naught cube H to power 5. ఇవన్నీ కాన్స్టెంట్ అండి, ఇంటూ Z cube by n to power 5. This is a general formula for magnetic induction at the center of the orbiting electron. ఇది 16. in terms of VN RN అయితే ఇది, in terms of ZN అయితే ఇది. దీని నుంచి magnetic induction at the center of the orbiting electron is directly proportional to Z cube by n to power 5 రాసుకోవచ్చు కదా. ఈ ఫార్ములా గుర్తుండాలి మనకి, జనరల్ గా ఇది అడుగుతూ ఉంటాడు. ఓకేనా? రైట్. ఓకే, నా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ నోట్ చేయండి. హోంవర్క్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, హోంవర్క్, టుడేస్ హోంవర్క్.
రికార్డింగ్ స్టాప్.
ఓకే ఐ విల్ స్టాప్ రికార్డ్. 11 పాయింట్స్ వరకు డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం అండి. ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఆర్బిట్ లో రెవల్యూషన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ట్రావెల్ అలాంగ్ ద సర్క్యులర్ పాత్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ సెంట్రిపిటల్ యాక్సలేషన్. Centripetal acceleration in nth orbit. Centripetal acceleration in nth orbit is centripetal acceleration, comma, an is equal to v square by r. V ante v velocity speed of the electron in the nth orbit square by r. V square by r ante radius of the nth orbit. ఇట్లా కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు. vn rn అంటే ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ ఇందాక వచ్చినాయి కదా, అవి సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేయండి. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ ద యాక్సిలేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఇన్ ద nth orbit of any hydrogen like atom. ఇది ఫార్ములా. ఓకే,